were all Hebrew people. I hope we understand. Even though Hebrew is a daughter language of Aramaic. So Arabic and Hebrew came out of Aramaic. So it is this Israelites and their ancestors, Abraham and his ancestors, that they mention in their book. That means that book is for the Israelites, not us. So that God there is the God of Israel, not the God of Ghana. Because why wouldn't the Creator mention at least one prophet across every continent? So it is Constantine who brought this nonsense to us. Because the Israelites did not force their religion on others, the Jews. The ancient Arabians did not force their religion on others, their idolatry. The Chinese are still worshipping their idolatry. And it is Buddhism. They did not force Buddhism on anybody. Shintoism, Japan, they've not forced it on anybody. Hinduism, India, they've not forced it on anybody. It's these Europeans who came and created Christianity and globalized them with war. And they saw that they were raking more wealth because the blessings you would have received from worshiping your idols. You are worshiping the idols and they are taking those blessings, so you'll be poor. And when they saw that, that was raking in more wealth. They said, no, let's go and create another religion. So Islam is the correction of Christianity. They corrected some of these things. How did they correct it? Where are the original Hebrew manuscripts? They burned them. Prophets rose, a prophet arose at Israel, and Europeans brought us his words, his religion. Where are the original Israelis? So when they went to Arabia, they created a prophet there and brought the Arabic Quran to us so that we will not ask of the original words. There were a lot of corrections they made. They told Africans, they told Christians that they should not offer sacrifices to anybody. Jesus came and died and ended animal sacrifices. And they saw that they were not getting more wealth. So in Islam, they brought it back. They brought it back. Offer sacrifices to Allah, offer sacrifices to Allah. You see? So when I'm doing a program on that, I'll enumerate all these things for you. So when they were bringing their religion, as I was saying, no prophet crossed an ocean to preach their way. So the people who brought us, if Islam was brought to us by merchants, we would have sent our youth there to go and learn it and bring it. That's the only way we can have the true Islam. But if some people move from Arabia and brought Islam here, who sent them? Who is sponsoring them? And God's religion, you don't force people into it. Christianity, they war with the world and conquer people they could and force them. The same thing with Islam. That already proved that they are false religions. So they force us. They brought people here to come and teach us Christianity. And what did they say? I read King Leopold's letter in the other video. Just want to read it quickly. When the missionaries were coming to Congo and other African countries, this was what the letter they wrote to them. They gave them several instructions. We got only 2. But you can figure out some of the orchestrations. So this was what the letter stated. Most of you have it. Go and Google King Leopold II letter to the Christian missionaries in 1883. It is there, but majority, 90% of Christians and Muslims in this country are illiterate. 90% of Muslims are illiterate. Can they research code? So this is how it goes. Reverend fathers and dear compatriots, the task entrusted to you is very delicate to fulfill and requires some tact. Priest, you go, of course, to evangelize, but your evangelizing must be inspired above all by the interests of Belgium. So anybody who's bringing religion, that religion is a money-making venture. They're not coming for your own interest. If you think I am lying, after their religions, what has become of us? So they brought their religions for their own interest, and this is what they told them. The main goal of your mission in Congo is therefore not to teach the Negroes to know God, because they know him already. They speak about and submit themselves to a Mundi, a Mungu, a Diakomba, and what else I don't know. They know that to kill, to rob, to sleep with someone's wife, to slander, and to insult is bad. So the Congolese had their specific name for the Creator or God. We have 3 names: Creator, God, Jesus in English. In Arabic, we have Al-Halik, Allah, and Huba. In Hebrew, we have Eli, Yahweh, and Bare or Bore. You come to Chi, we have Asasiya, Nyame, and Obadiah. So the Creator, we use the adjective Creator to describe them. Whether they are there or not, we don't know, but we think they are there. Then God is a title. It can mean the Creator, it can mean the idols, it can mean human beings who are nearing perfection. That's why they say Messi is the god of football. You see that? Anything that helps you is your God. So food, water, the trees, the rivers, the idols, the stone is a very important tool in idolatry. Without them, the spirits cannot transcend our world to do what we want for us. So because of what the spirits can do for you, they can help you win a war. They can give bumper harvest. So they call them our gods because they help us. So the Creator is not called God. God is the title. So when UT Idawa is debating Abraham saying, God said it, God said it, he does not know what he's talking about. He does not know what he's talking about. The Creator didn't speak to anybody, so the Quran is not the word of the Creator. So the Quran is not the word of God because the idols don't write books. The Quran, Ra, intelligence of Ra, Zabura, Torah, Injira. Torah is a memory. So you go there, it is idolatry. The worship of Ra. They stole them and created religions. And it is idols who give us civilization. You understand? So our ancestors wrote them down. They stole them. So that they knew God already. So these names is mentioned are the specific names of the idols. Maybe one of them is the Creator. So the Creator is different. They know that to kill, to rob, to sleep with someone's wife, to slander, and to insult is bad. Let us have the courage to admit it. You are not going to teach them what they already know. Your essential role is to facilitate the tasks of our administrators and industrialists. This means you will interpret the gospel in the way it will serve and protect our interests in that part of the world. So these people were coming to Congo, but you compare it to the situation in Ghana, you realize that it is the same mission. What they went to India and did the same thing they did in this country. So the Indians are now manufacturing their own goods and commodities because they could not Christianize and Islamize them. They are worshipping Hinduism. Only few are Muslims and Christians. So the pastors and malams are doing the work of our enemies, not the work of God. So that they should interpret the gospel in a way that is intellectual dishonesty. It is those words, the scriptures, those are the wisdom of the sages. So you can say God's words. They are those words that people can use to deceive people. So it's the Quran they can use to deceive you more. Because when they come, they read the intellectual masterpieces to you. And you say, oh, it's true. It's the Creator's words. Then they will now add the bullshit. The Creator says, offer sacrifices to him. The Creator doesn't take sacrifices. For that matter, you will make sure, among other things, that our savages lose interest in their overflowing wealth in their soil. In order to avoid that, they get interested in it, compete to death with us, and dream one day to dislodge us. You see that they are exploiting our resources 24/7. They have the run shifts. They have morning shifts, evening, night. They don't stop because they know we are sleeping. We are in the churches and the mosques doing And another group of idiots are in the mosque doing La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, and they are looting our resources non-stop. They don't stop. Even they have standby machines. When one machine becomes faulty, they replace it. And they have standby engineers who will repair the standby machine. So even the standby machine should not be faulty. And they've looted us for over 500 years. No single malam or pastor has ever lamented over this. They don't even know because of this letter. They damaged their brains and told them they should damage their children's brains. So we are handing down the damage from generation to generation. So the children who are going for karatu and the children who are going for Sunday schools, those are the factors. They are damaging their brains. So my little sister's children who are going for karatu, they don't talk to me because the malams have told them that I'm a devil. Somebody who is damaging your children's brain, your generation's brains. So that person is an accursed creature. So if any curses will come, should rather come on them. And if any blessing will come from above, should rather come to us. They came here, put an agendum in place, and that agendum is pursuing itself. And they went home, ate and slept. And we are damaging our generation's brains. And they don't even know. So they came here, picked the pastors and the malams, programmed them to destroy us. So they are destroying themselves, they are destroying their children, they are destroying their wives, they are destroying their family members, they are destroying their suburbs, they are destroying their communities, they are destroying their district, their regions, their country, and their continent as a whole, from generation to generation. And they themselves don't know. Because they are bewitched. That's why I say Allah and Jesus are the devil. They have bewitched them. That's why this Hussein guy is here spewing garbage from the mouth. Omo kasa ti say omo de omo no ko toilet. When it come when he di change or kasa asset ni t-shirt no tum. Then they will be laughing. They will think that you are mad. You are disputing facts, scientific proofs, logical reasons, and critical thoughts, archaeological and historical evidence, documented facts. You are disputing them with fiction, falsehood, bullshit they taught you. So he said they should come in. That, for that matter, you make sure, among other things, that our savages, you call us savages, lose interest in their overflowing wealth of their soil. So we have lost interest in our gold. They should take and go. When you tell a Muslim, please, let's develop this country, he will tell you, you are talking about worldly gains. They want to offer salat and go to heaven and fuck 72 wives. They don't care about this country. So they are looting our resources. Nobody's lamenting. They said we don't have knowledge to explore and discover the mineral deposits and the crude oils. And we don't have knowledge to make equipment and machines, heavy-duty equipment, to exploit them. For over 500 years, why haven't we gone to learn and come and do it ourselves and enrich ourselves? And why haven't we risen up and demonstrate against these Europeans that they should stop mining our mineral resources and go? Because they have busy you in the churches and the mosques. So every 5 hours you go into the mosque to pray. So you can't think about your mineral resources. So you sit down worshiping your false gods for prosperity and heavens, while the Europeans are looting your mineral resources. Your politicians are looting you. Your traditional authorities are looting you. Malams and pastors are looting you. And when you are poor, you come and say it is our ancestors' sin that has made us poor. You are a pig. Anybody who demonizes our ancestors is supposed to be slaughtered on the face of this on African continent. They were honorable men, and they enslaved them. And he says, your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find easily texts recommending the faithful to love poverty, such as, blessed are the poor, because the kingdom of heaven is theirs. It is difficult for a rich person to go to heaven. You will do everything so that the Negroes are afraid to get rich in order to deserve heaven. So Muslims don't convert riches. Excuse me. Recently, we were watching DSTV, one channel, and they were showing this Fast and Furious movie. Then it got to where they entered the garage to take nice cars. And the garage was so nice with very expensive cars. These guys were saying, these people, they won't go to heaven. I said, why? That they are already in heaven, so they won't go to heaven. I said, is it because they are in heaven on earth, that's why they won't go to heaven? He said, yes. And I said, but Saudi, Dubai are nicer than this place. And he said, as for the Saudis, they are Muslims, so they will go to heaven. And I said, but, so why won't these people go to heaven? He said, because they are not Muslims. And I said, you have just prejudged these people. Some of these actors are Muslims. There are Muslims in America, Europe. But he says because they are not Muslims, they will not go to heaven. Then I asked them, so those Christians or non-Muslims who are in poor countries, will they go to heaven? He says, no, they won't go to heaven because they are not Muslim. So I asked him, so you are in a poor country. In my community, we are poor. So because you are in hell, you will go to heaven? He said, yes, we will go to heaven because we are Muslims. And I asked him, your wife gave birth recently, your girlfriend, your concubine, recently. You have not married her yet. And you have dated a lot of girls before that girl. And after that girl, or during the courtship with that girl, you are still flirting around. Will you go to heaven? You're a fornicator. How do you go to heaven? And I told you, look behind you. All the boys sitting watching this movie, all of them, even primary school boys, they have girlfriends. We are all fornicators. How do you go to heaven? Then he was sitting down. And so you see, they lied to you one time. They told them that when they see Europe being advanced and developed, they should not covet it because Europeans will go to hell. They enjoy heaven here on earth, so they'll go to hell. I don't know how these Europeans manage to sip this information into our heads. I don't know. Through the Malams. The Malams are dangerous. The things they are teaching the children before they grow. Only our ancestors knew. These guys were having this mentality. And I told him, they lied to you. They said we should enjoy poverty here on earth. If not, we'll go to hell. Go to Saudi. Are they poor? Go to Rome. Vatican, there's no poverty there. This is what they came and taught us. And you know what they did? They took... When they came and they were teaching, they said they won't understand. So they gave them orders that they should seize the children from them. You know, when they war with them, they killed the men and conquered them. And they seized their children from their mothers, went and built mission houses, placed them there, and told them that the children are orphans. And they came to raise them. That some people came and killed their parents, and they came and they are doing them good. Every child, you say this to them, the child will worship you. So when the children grew, and they ordered them, go and kill your mother, that child will go and kill the mother because he does not even know that that's his mother. So our civilization, especially knowledge and spirituality, which is like Quotation Master said, the spirit, the idols, they are universal. You can sit here and conjure it. They can also sit and conjure the same spirit. But you must not worship the spirit through somebody's name. So if you offer sacrifices to the spirit through somebody's name, that the person will give to the spirit, the spirit knows that it's that person. Mr. Augustine will be like, any black person who dies as a Christian or a Muslim dies as a slave. Islam and Christianity are slavery, repackaged, but we don't know. I've made this thing. So, Quotation Master and Co. African spiritualists are telling us that when you conjure the spirit, you give it your name. When you enter a covenant with that spirit, you give that spirit your name. You must slaughter sacrifices in the name you have given to that spirit. The spirit will use the name to identify you. It is you are naming yourself, but to you are naming that spirit. So, which God did our ancestors worship before Islam and Christianity? If you ask any Muslim scholar, they can't give you the name. So our names, they've wiped them out. So we lost this civilization. It is not today that Quotation Master and Co. went to a spiritual university in India and they told them this secret. We did not know. So when they put the children in those mission houses and raised them up and taught them only their Christianity, they didn't even teach them the words of the Bible, because the Bible is idolatry from head to toe. It's idolatry. They taught them Christianity, which is completely different from the Bible. The name Christianity is not in the Bible. The name Christians is not in the Bible. They said it is Antioch, people in Antioch who called the followers of Christ Christian. That guy himself was not called Christ. In Hebrew language, it is Messiah. So, Messiah, Joshua ben Messiah. And then, in ancient Egyptian, it's called Karast. So, where from the word Christ? English, they copied it. The name of the Bible is not in the Bible itself. Trinity is not in the Bible. Everything they do in Christianity is not in the Bible. Everything in Christianity. If you want to know the truth about the Bible and Christianity, you can't get the truth in the Bible. Go and research how Christianity was created and how the Bible was compiled. That is where you will see the secret. I hope you understand. So they taught them only their nonsense, falsehood. Everything in Christianity is falsehood. Everything in Islam is complete falsehood. So they taught them falsehood. And they grew up. So they were holding the Bibles in their armpits, going up and down, preaching the falsehood from generation to generation. So they taught them only Christianity. They did not teach them economics, their history, spirituality, who they are. They did not teach them management. Very vital components of our life. They do not teach them that. So we don't know what is economics. That is why we don't know that if we don't make our own goods and commodities, we can never get there. Rwanda has done that and they are in heaven. So when the children grew up, they only know bullshit. Jesus' mother is this. Meanwhile, nobody was giving birth in Israel through virgin birth. Nobody. It was Africa. Even ancient days. As I see her, she's called Mary. Or Maria. Madonna. Maya in China and Japan. Maria in Rome. Even within Rome. Different names. In Greek, different names. Aphrodite, Diana, Hera. You understand? Because every tribe, every ethnic group must give the spirit their name. Then you go to America, the Liberty Woman. That's it. You go to Spain, I forgot the name. Hebrew, it was called Asherah. Arabic, Razika or Al-Uzza. You don't know. So when you choose any of the siblings as your national gods and your creator god, the rest become devil. That's why the Hebrew regarded Asherah as a devil, a devilish woman. There's no devil anywhere. The devil in Hebrew is the God of Christianity. That is why the New Testament is not talking about Yahweh. That's why they say Jesus is God. Jesus is God. If Jesus is God, then that means God is God. Why are you telling us Jesus is God? Hope you understand. So when the children grew up, They didn't know anything. And they told them, Jesus will do. Jesus is coming. Jesus do. So when they are suffering, so they were looting their resources. And they were also busily worshiping the Creator. Now, I want to link Leopold's letter to Islam. Let me read everything. You know that Malams are telling us that this world is not our world. Heaven is our world. The same thing they told them here. That the poor shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. That is what our ancestors wrote, but you don't understand. What is the meaning? In this life, or at every point in time in this world, some people must be rich and others must be poor. We cannot all be rich. So if in this life you are poor, the next life you become rich. So somebody who is rich in this life maybe was poor in the other life. So there's nothing you can do. You can't bewitch that person. The person will be rich or whatever you do. And when somebody is poor, you can Allah, Yahweh, nobody can, because that is the destiny, that is nature. This is what our forefathers wrote, and they used them, manipulated them, and they used them, and they are lying to us. So let me continue. So you will do everything so that Negroes are afraid to get rich in order to deserve heaven. You must detach them from that and make them despise everything that could give them the courage to comfort us. Please, this place is underlined. You must detach them from that and make them despise everything that could give them the courage to confront us. That anything that will give us the courage to fight them back, they must detach us from it and make us hate it. What is it? I refer here mainly to their war fetishists or bra phenomenon, our spirituality, our spiritual powers. Juju yendronu. Womona be dada yese aye shirk yentontwene. Nti se malam preachi tia ndrosema. Se ya na ye condition se won preachi wonim ne woka. Ala ne bo ndrosem, won ne bo abosom, won ne bo beye. Sa ka say aye blasphemy. What kind of Allah is that? And that is what Lord Macaulay also said, that they should break our spiritual backbone. So we have detached ourselves completely from spirituality. We cannot open our third eyes. We cannot tap into the enormous power in ourselves. Excuse me. And that is making us poor. Then they will come and tell you, it's your forefathers who sin. They'll come and tell you, we don't follow Allah's words. The Chinese don't even worship Allah. The Singaporeans are atheists. Japanese are atheists, but they are rich. How come? You told us that people who are faithful to Allah, Muslims, this world is like prison to them. When they die, they will go to heaven. And now you are telling us that we don't follow Allah's word. That means we are not faithful to Allah. So people who will go to hell must enjoy heaven here. So if we are not following God's words, we are supposed to be enjoying. And in this case, the pastors are telling Christians that, Malams are telling Muslims that. Now, which God's words that is true? Because if Christianity is the true religion of the Creator, the Muslims automatically are not following the Bible. So they are not following Christian word, the Christian God's word. Then they are supposed to be rich. And if Islam is the true religion of the Creator, then Christians automatically are not following the Creator's words. Then they are supposed to be rich, but we are all poor. So we are speaking logic. If you have refused to think, you will not understand these things. So that they should try very hard and detach us from our spiritual powers, which we can use to fight them back. So idolatry is not blasphemy. Blasphemy is something you do against yourself. Maybe one day I'll come and talk about that. And nature will punish you for that. And in the ranking, it's consuming other people's sweat, especially orphans. That's blasphemous. Because you will suffer it. And when you waste time in this world, you will suffer. It's also a sin, or it is also evil against yourself. When you cheat people, and when a lady, a woman fornicates, is sexually promiscuous, she will suffer it. Nature will deal with her. It's not any Allah. Let's move on. So I refer here mainly to their war fetishists. Do not let them claim they are not renouncing them, and you will do everything to ensure that they disappear. When they came, our ancestors knew the truth, so they said they wouldn't do. So they war with them, conquer them, and train the children. So the children they brought up, they didn't have spiritual parity. They didn't know anything about spirituality. So they didn't have any juju. They were just empty vessels. They didn't even perform rituals. So they become poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer. Your actions will be directed essentially towards the youth, so that they will not revolt against us. That's why in the schools they are there. The cartoons and the Sunday schools, they are there. On the roadside, they are preaching. Buses, they are preaching. It's the youth who travel more. Now, I want to link this, because I'm tired, to Islam. Malam will preach you that do not covet worldly gains. It is heaven. Pray hard and go to heaven. It is here in this letter. Then they told them that when they are stealing our resources, and our ancestors or our forefathers asked them that, it is stated in your book that that shall not steal, but why are you stealing us? They should tell us that they should listen to what the pastor will preach, what the father will say. They should not do what the father is doing. This is what the Malams are telling us. That do what the Malam preaches, don't do what the Malam is doing. Can you see the link? Good. And they say they should target the youth. So the Malams are targeting the youth. And they say they should bring the youth up. Let me read there. If the father's commandment is contrary to their parents' teachings, the children have to learn to obey to what the missionary, who is the father of their souls, recommend to them. You must particularly insist on their submission and obedience, and avoid developing critical minds in school. Teach children to believe, not to reason. You see that? So if a Malan says school is haram, you don't know what he's talking about. But I want to repeat here that your actions will be directed essentially towards the youth, so that they will not revolt against us. And you know what? They say the missionaries, when they come, they should name themselves father, father. The term father, pastor, malam, imam, chief imam is not in the Quran and the Bible. During Prophet Muhammad's time, there was nobody called imam or chief imam or malam, or it was only hafiz or hufaz. Sheikh, no, it wasn't there. All these are human creations. During Jesus' time, we didn't have any pastor, we didn't have any father, reverend, no. All these are human creations. So when they were coming, they told them that they should come and tell the people to call them father, father. So when you are calling him your father, it is like your father. So the missionary is like your father. But he's not your biological father, he is your spiritual father. So if he is your spiritual father, especially to the children, so if the father's commandment, the spiritual father's commandment, is contrary to their parents' teachings, the children have to learn to obey to what the missionary, who is their father of their souls, recommend to them. So they raise up the children so that when their biological parents speak, they won't take it. They will take what the father says or what the pastor says. That is exactly what the Malams are doing to our children. My uncle, who is a Malam, told him that they have a course in Islamic study they call Taraweeh or what, that he can raise people's children up and they will disobey their parents and come and obey him. That's exactly what they did here. Now let me expose the Malams. They told us that we should marry more wives and give birth to more children. And then we should practice child marriage, even though the children will commit fornication. We have been doing that, but it has also solved the problem. And they said we should not covet worldly gains. We should not go over. We should eschew wealth and comfort on the face of this earth, and that education is haram. These 5 conditions, and they said we should not even do research. We should not even research outside what we are taught, and we should not listen to people who criticize Islam. But that's just separate. The person who is marrying more wives and giving birth to more children is not helping their children to go to school and acquire a profession. It's a medical doctor whose work is lucrative that can take care of 4 wives, not a peasant farmer. So lack of education in Muslim communities and polygamy and many children is heading towards to impoverishment. Child marriage is the beginning of the vicious cycle of poverty. So everything Muslims are practicing is pushing them closer gradually to their graves. That is why Muslim communities are filthy, poor, they are impoverished, they are stealing, so you're promiscuous because of what Islam. So if you are a Muslim, a thinking Muslim, and you have not come to the realization that Islam is a curse on humanity, then you are not fit to live. Because these 5 creeds or beliefs or practices will impoverish you economically. So Muslim countries are collapsing. Libya has collapsed. Syria collapsed. Yemen collapsed. Afghanistan. Afghan parents are selling their children. They are selling their kidneys to buy food. Syrian patients, sick people in the hospitals, they are dying of hunger and starvation. There are medical equipment, drugs to cure them, but no food. Syria, go and see what is going on there. Some time ago, one government in Afghanistan came and banned all books and left all Islamic books because they said education is haram, book haram. Another one came and said, no, you are going to destroy this country. Look, Americans make guns. Every America has a gun, including children, but they don't war them because they are civilized. If the Libyans were civilized, the Americans couldn't have manipulated them. Have you seen doctors, lawyers, professionals going to war? It is professional warriors, soldiers who go to war, and they go to protect people. They don't go among themselves. It is illiterates who fight among themselves. So if Gaddafi had achieved 100% literacy because of Islam, so it is Islam that is collapsing these countries. And they are not manufacturing, they are not doing nothing. When they have oil, they just lie down. Arab countries who have oil, Muslim countries who have oil, could pursue science and technology, secular education, in practical education, science and technology, technical and vocational, to produce, manufacture and produce their own goods and commodities, to create wealth in Arabia, Libya, and other places, so that they could have been exploiting the oil and using the proceeds to help other poor Muslim countries. But they say education is haram. So they don't pursue secular education because when you can read and write and you can do research, you will discover the truth. So the Malams are destroying you. That is how the Malams are destroying us. So I don't know how to put these pieces together. That's why I told you I'm doing rehearsals. Let me read certain things to you. Jacques Chirac, a former French president, that we bled Africa for 4.5 centuries. We looted their raw materials. Then we told lies that the African is good for nothing. In the name of religion, we destroyed their culture, and after being made rich at their expense, we now steal their brains through miseducation and propaganda to prevent them from enacting black retribution against us. Against them. These words say it all. And another person, I've been reading this thing, Henry Berry, that we have as far as possible closed every avenue by which the light of truth may enter the slave's mind. If we could extinguish their capacity to see the light, our work will be complete. They will then be on the level of the beasts of the fields, and we then shall be safe. They've closed all avenue by which they will see the light. How did they do that? Through religion, their media, and their theoretical curriculum. They control everything about us. So we are not seeing the truth. And somebody said, Platini Wemela in a quote, African youth seek the truth, not knowledge. For what we know as knowledge has been carefully programmed to mislead us. So everything you learn in Islam is lies. Everything you learn in the school is lies. Everything you see in the media is complete lies. Anybody who is preaching in the media is lying to you. The truth wouldn't get its way to the media. People like us are speaking the truth, but they won't let us get it. They are even pursuing us. Don't be surprised when Muslim youth should come here and lynch me. Don't be surprised. This is what these people did to us. They've closed every avenue by which the truth will get to our brains. And listen here. If we could extinguish their capacity to see the light, our work would have been complete. They have succeeded in damaging our brains. So you cast pearls at swines like Hussein Mustafa. When you throw pearls, diamonds, gold bar into the pig's pen, the pig will come and sniff. If it is not food, it will defecate on it. It does not know that that gold bar can be sold, bought food to feed it and its generations to come. So people, he has written again, please, it's human activities that make the environment filthy, not Muslims. We equally have communities that are filthy, but they ain't Muslim communities. You see the reason why most people So creatures like this, I am casting pearls at swine. So he's a swine. He's a pig. What I am saying, he's not understanding it. So they say if they can extinguish their capacity to see the light. When you speak the truth, common sense, logic, civilization to a Muslim today, you say, I'll kill you. Because they have succeeded in deranging our brain, in deranging us. They've damaged our brains. We can't comprehend the truth anymore. That is exactly what these people have done to us. We can't comprehend common sense. If UTI Dawa was a thinking human being, he wouldn't have been defending Islam. The very enterprise that is destroying his people. He would have been thinking and asking himself, why is it that in the Zongos, we can't build? We have a daya abubuo, a thing, stagnant water, filthy water, bath and collect. Can. UTI Dawa would have been researching into why Muslims are poor in this country. Joblessness in Muslim communities. You give birth more to children in this current world and say some false Allah should come and take care of them. You are mentally deranged. So they've damaged our brains and they have reduced us below the level of share animals. Because a Muslim youth is living in a thatched house. Maybe the father's home. No toilet, no bathhouse, no kitchen. But he wants to. One of my uncles has married 3 wives and given birth to close to 20 children. But he still stays in a thatched house, his father's house. That means he does not know what he's doing. Nobody says you shouldn't marry, you shouldn't give birth to children. But don't deliberately say, I want to give birth more. If you can't build for the children, you yourself, you can't build. Why are you giving birth more? Why have you asked your wife to stay in the house? So you will see a Muslim woman in ninja sitting in the house. But after eating, she will walk to the outskirts and defecate. Your husband is burning charcoal. Is it you to wear ninja and sit in the house? When the husband becomes sick, because the heat from the charcoal, the heat from the sun, when it breaks him down, what are you going to do? So if your husband, a Muslim man, has been able to hustle to rent a room, you to get the fuck out and work for your pussy to sweat. You get money, come and construct a single-seater toilet in that house. So that you and your husband, your many children will defecate. Because when you grow old, you can't walk to the hinterlands. You can't walk to the outskirts. This is wisdom. So the many wives and many children is weighing us down. It's impoverishing us. If you want to check it, any country where they are marrying one and planning their families, they are all gone. Look at the accounts. One wife, 3 children. Then the women are working. Then they're taking care, they're pushing them up. UTI won't mind you. LOL. I can see you now want attention. You see, that's why I say it's a pick. You are watching me. You can't take your eyes off me, but you are just spewing garbage. You have these creations in your country. How can you move forward? So let me read some of these things. I don't even know how to articulate them. Please listen to wisdom. Somebody said, and I quote, you have to remember that everything that you believe to be true came from history's greatest liars. They are also your brutal colonizers and enslavers. Think long and hard about these facts when insisting that what you have been taught are true. Then I said, the very people who enslaved your forefathers taught you your religion and concept of God, and also told you that your spirituality, a very powerful enterprise, is blasphemous. They lie to you. Another person says, you dispute facts you don't understand with myths you are forced to believe. You were forced to believe. This mindset keeps you mentally enslaved. Another person says, never forget, that's Marcus Garvey, never forget that intelligence rules the world and ignorance carries the burden. Therefore, remove yourself as far as possible from ignorance and seek as far as possible to be intelligent. Then another person said, mental slavery is the worst form of slavery. It gives you the illusion of freedom and makes you trust, love, and defend your oppressor or slave master, whilst making an enemy of those who are trying to free you or open your eyes. Let me read this one and bring my exposition to end. That we can't continue arguing over stories passed down to us from slaves, told to them by their lying ass white slave owners. To continue doing so is stupid. Let's keep it real. Those slaves, yes, our beloved ancestors, got their religion and history from a people proven as history's greatest liars. So a lot of what you believe today are damn lies. So don't get upset whenever you find a brother or sister digging for the truth. In fact, they should be saluted for their effort.